Next is about the superficial surface or the external surface or the lateral surface. The superficial surface is a surface which can be seen from externally. It's a superficial surface, superficial view of the gland which can be seen in relation with the mandible, that is the superficial surface. Superficial surface in cut section we can see like that. If this is the posteromedial surface, if this is the anteromedial surface, and then comes this is the superficial surface. The superficial surface is related or covered first with the skin, superficial fascia containing superficial parotid lymph nodes. Skin, superficial fascia containing skin, superficial fascia, superficial fascia containing platysma and the superficial group of parotid lymph nodes. Then deep to it there is the presence of parotid fascia and the deep parotid lymph nodes. So, the relations or the superficial surface is covered with, or externally it is covered with skin, superficial fascia containing platysma, the branches of great auricular nerve is there, and superficial part of parotid lymph nodes, superficial part of parotid lymph nodes, platysma, and there are some sort of nerves, the branches of great auricular nerve which supplies the ear, external aspect of skin of ear, and the external portion of the parotid gland, the skin. So, these are the relations can be seen, the skin, superficial fascia and deep lymph nodes, superficial lymph nodes with great branches communicating or the cuticular branches of cutaneous branches of greater auricular nerve. So, all these structures can be seen in relation with the superficial surface. That means, the superficial surface is covered with skin, and deep to skin there is a superficial fascia. It is covered with skin, deep to skin. If this is a gland, superficial surface of the gland, it is covered with skin, deep to skin there is superficial fascia, a space which is separating the gland, that is the parotid fascia can be seen just above the parotid gland, and within that we can see the presence of parotid lymph nodes, deep parotid lymph nodes. Within the superficial fascia there is platysma muscle can be seen, and the superficial parotid lymph nodes are there, and along with some sort of nerves, the great auricular nerve. So, these are the from external to internal. The parotid superficial surface is covered with skin, superficial fascia, parotid fascia with deep parotid lymph nodes. Next is about the surfaces, the relations to the surfaces. First is about the anteromedial surface. Anteromedial surface, you can see this is the parotid gland. This is superficial or lateral surface, lateral or superficial surface, and this is anteromedial surface. This is posteromedial surface, and this is border, which is medial border, and this one is anterior border, and this one is posterior border. So now we are going to study about the relations on the anteromedial surface. For that we have to draw the diagram showing the anteromedial surface. If this is a section of the mandible, there we can see two types of muscles which are covering this mandible. One, external covering of masseter. The other one is which is internally forming medial pterygoid muscle. This is the mandible, section of mandible, which is externally covered with masseter. Internally there is a medial pterygoid, comes in relation with the anteromedial surface. Medial pterygoid masseter muscle and medial pterygoid muscles. So these are the structures comes in relation with the anteromedial surface, the masseter, medial pterygoid muscle, posterior border of ramus of mandible, and lateral aspect of temporomandibular joint. So in other way we can draw the same diagram, like if this is the ramus of the mandible, here the gland can be seen like this. So it possesses a medial border, and this comes as the anteromedial surface. This is the anteromedial surface. This is posteromedial surface. This is posteromedial surface, and this comes the anteromedial surface. So the anteromedial surface is related with the, here is the temporomandibular joint, can be seen here. So the temporomandibular joint, posterior aspect of the temporomandibular joint comes in relation with the anteromedial surface, and also there is a muscle, if this is a zygomatic arch, from there the muscle passes to the lateral aspect of the mandible as the masseter. So the masseter muscle can be seen here. So the gland is present above the masseter, so that anteromedial surface is resting over the masseter muscle, and internally there is the medial pterygoid muscle. Medial pterygoid muscle can be seen towards the angle of mandible internally, and that is also coming in contact with the anteromedial surface, being it as a position which is passes behind the mandible. So that this is the anteromedial surface. The anteromedial comes in direct contact with the mandible, body of the mandible, the posterior aspect of the ramus of the mandible, and the masseter muscle which is resting over the masseter, the mandible, and medial pterygoid muscle which is presenting itself on the posterior aspect or the internal aspect of the ramus of the mandible. So, these are the relations which comes in direct contact with the anteromedial surface, and there are some structures emerging from the anteromedial surface. They are the branches of facial nerve, the branches of facial nerve which are emerging from the anteriorly. It is the branches of facial nerve which are emerging from the anteromedial surface, because the facial nerve enters through the posteromedial surface and emerges through the anteromedial surface. So, these are the relations which can be seen at the anteromedial surface of the parotid gland. Next is about the relation on the posteromedial surface.